Hi, this is Wayne Tully, and I thought I'd test out my new Promarkers. I've got a selection of different colours here, and I've got my blender pen that I'll use. I'm just going to try and layer in some colours and just see. Now I've done a drawing of this Halloween pumpkin with his eyes hanging out. I've drawn it on like a bit thicker paper so the pens can absorb into the paper a bit more. So yeah, let's try and test these out. Now, I think these are more like alcohol based markers, which are pretty much the standard for professional art markers. I thought I'd get some because I've seen other artists use them, you know, like drawing videos and things like that, and just I really like, you know, the look of them. So I'm using like the chisel tip of the markers just to fill in like a larger area, you know, within these eye sockets of the Halloween pumpkin. These markers like they lay the colour down quite well, I think. There is some streaks in there, but I think that's what the blender pen's for, you know, to limit them streaks. But you can go over the, you know, the lines here and there, so you can cover them streaks. But yeah, quite like the colours here and there. I haven't got an orange pen, so I'm wondering if I'll be able to add a bit of yellow in to this red, which is like a lighter red than this. This is almost like crimson, I think, or something. Was it not cardinal red, it said. So yeah, so I'm wondering if the blender pen might sort of blend the yellow and that one together, you know, for the pumpkin skin. I don't know, just have to see what we can do. I'm going to have a go anyway and just test the section out. It's like a slightly lighter red. I'm just going to go ahead and just test this out against a bit of yellow and maybe see if I can blend it together, you know, with a blender pen. So yeah, it's not particularly spectacular. In fact, I'm unimpressed with the blender pen, but I suppose there's different ways you can lay the colours down, and I definitely would have needed that orange. So yeah, we'll stop that for now. And it's actually affecting the other marker pen that I've actually drawn over, so it's best to avoid that. Interesting. Try and get this. Cock. Right. I'm still holding the camera while I'm drawing and stuff. It's a bit annoying, but I just can't set it up where you can actually see the drawing clearly as you can now. even though the camera's wobbling. So I'm definitely gonna have to work some out. I don't know. That's what frustrates me more than anything else, being an artist and that. So some pink, like a pink vein there. So yeah, I definitely do need an orange. So maybe if I have more different colours, I'd be able to blend that further. Definitely won't use these markers again with them. You know, the black markers. I think I used a black. I think it was a Sharpie marker. I don't know if that should have done that, but never mind. You just test different things out and see if it works. You know, if it doesn't work, then fair enough. Let's draw some on there. Pardon you. Let's get some darker red here, cardinal red. I think it's just a case of experimentation and stuff like that. I'm not used to, you know, colouring with markers and trying to work out different tones and things like that. So it might be just best just to go over certain areas. Maybe that would be darker there. So really I'm just finding these just the same as any other felt tip markers, pens really. Not impressed at this stage, but I think it's how you lay the colours down and things like that, so I think you can overlay different shades like there and then come back with the other pens and, you know, add different layers of tone and things like that. I don't know, here we can draw some thin veins. I suppose it's just working out the darker areas and the lighter areas. There's definitely some experimentation needed with these pens. So really, I've just had a thought when I'm colouring this in. I'm thinking, what if there's like underlayers of like blood drips and things like that, and you know, especially from the mouth and that, maybe the eyes, and then we could go back to the orange colour later on or something. So yeah, definitely needs some more working out, especially with the blender pen. I mean, that blender pen I was thinking maybe might work better with some other different colours, maybe like greys or something like that. So I'll be testing that out in a separate video. It's best to do all the lines around where you think the shadow is first. Maybe shadow like a darker colour. I've got a brown, and could layer that over the top as well if you wanted to. Maybe yeah, just make them into like drips. I mean, you could soften them off later with the blender pen. What I've found is with different like art materials, you've just got to layer things over the top, and it can be sometimes a long drawn out process, but if you want a good piece of art, you've got to spend a bit of time on it, and that's something that I've never really had the patience for in the past. I just like to draw a quick drawing and then I'll move on to the next, but yeah, sometimes you have got to take your time. Just always be conscious of where there'd be shadow on a drawing, and you know where the lighter areas would be, or any light source would reflect off, which is mainly like the top source. I mean, if the light was, you know, coming from the, you know, the top area. So just adding this red in as obviously like the main shadow of the main colour, but we definitely want to try and blend this later on. And try and make this more of an orange looking pumpkin. So at the beginning of this colouring video, sort of wasn't impressed with the Pro markers, but as you go along you can sort of see that the colours are a lot better than cheap felt tips. So there is hope for these markers, and as I said earlier, it is the way you layer them, and apply the colour as well. And there is some kind of technique to it which I haven't figured out yet, but I will do. Maybe inside the mouth I can do a red there, but I can overlay some other colour, maybe a brown, just to separate that from the rest of the colour. I don't want it all over, all red everywhere, and it won't be once we sort of try and layer most of the colours. Let's try and get a bit of brown in there. I think it's a brown colour. What does it say on it? It's cocoa. Return. Yeah, that's adding some nice shadow to it. Yeah, I like that. Maybe just light suggestions of shadow within the teeth, so we're still retaining that red colour, but we're sort of separating it from the rest. I'm trying to do the same in the eyes. So yeah, I'm sort of seeing light at the end of the tunnel with this drawing. I'm sort of realising now that I don't know if it could actually be like an orange colour. I don't know if they'll just keep it red. It looks more effective, but we're going to have to try and work on adding some more tone to these white spaces, I think. Try and work something out. So I've got this sort of like lighter red now. Try and go over it a bit more. Really just try and add a different colour, a different red to it. So really the colour of this has changed because I don't have an orange, so I was going to like use it to blend, but that didn't really turn out so well. So I think this is going to be like a nice horror red pumpkin. Leave a gap there, maybe some white space for highlights or anything. And go back over these little areas. Using the chisel edge of the marker, we can fill in larger areas. I'm not worrying about the streaks at the moment because I can probably hopefully thin them out with the blender marker. But again, that marker needs a bit more experimentation as far as I'm concerned. But I do like the overall colours of these Pro markers. They're growing on me. But there is some kind of technique to them that you've got to work out and experiment with and just find for yourself. And I think the idea of layering the colours is part of that technique. Even some white sort of gaps. I can work in some extra highlights there. There's some more obvious little white spaces here and there. Just about trying to get the right balance on your drawing. Thing like that. Start to add some brown. The stalk section of the pumpkin. Should use the thicker side, but never mind. I want to add some green on here just to see if it'll go well with the colour. Some like moss green. Some moss green over the brown. So like I said, you just layer the colours. You can see like a definite tone there, particularly when you add the green on the white space. The green looks brighter, and then the brown is sort of subdued by the green as well, you know. And maybe some yellow. Helps sort of blend the colour together a bit better, but again, it's just like normal felt tip markers really, but it's still a good idea to do. Maybe some slight yellow on the teeth, so it's looking more like a killer tomato every minute now. Just a video just to experiment and just test out these pens. I'm sure the more time I take and try and test out different colours, because there's loads of markers, loads of these Pro Marker, there's variations of different colour and stuff like that. So I suppose if I build up my collection and try and overlay different, you know, layers of colour, sort of the art will look, you know, even better, sort of thing. Just draw like a yellow part there. Yeah, I think I'll just leave that for now. Gone as far as I really want to go with this drawing, just to test out the different markers and just seeing how it looks really. I mean, it looks alright. It's gone through there, but I'd say that part on the back looks better than the actual drawing, but yeah. All for fun. So I'll see you in the next video. That was just a test video of testing out these markers, and hopefully I'll try and work things out and use these pens more professionally as I go along. So I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now.